So I'm here with my client Nicola, and we're going to kind of discuss her sustained journey so far. So, Nicola, why don't you tell us kind of what your goals were, or what your goals still are when you first kind of joined with Sustain?
So the main thing for me was to find a way of dealing with my relationship with food that meant I wasn't going on the yo-yo anymore. So rather than losing weight, going off the diet, putting it back on, starting a different one, losing it, being actually able to have like a normal relationship with food where things didn't completely throw me. So going on holiday, having birthdays, all those kind of things weren't like this big deal anymore. So it wasn't so much about the losing weight, although that was obviously a factor. It was more about that relationship with food. That was a real big thing for me.
So I suppose we've kind of covered it a little bit with that question, but kind of what did you find was your biggest struggle or obstacle kind of before working with us?
It was definitely that consistency. So I was either on a diet or off a diet. There was kind of no in between. And so I'm very good at following the rules. I'm really good at losing weight, in actual fact. I can give me a plan and I can nail it. It's fine. But put me in a situation where I can't do the normal things I do, completely lose it and would just go, oh, what the hell? And it would be chaos. Whereas now I don't feel like that anymore.
Yeah, I think
So that's been the big change.
I said there's a real kind of famous quote from a guy called Len Norton who says, "We don't have an issue losing weight; we have an issue kind of maintaining that loss."
Yeah,
I think that
exactly.
kind of goes kind of across the board. So, in your previous attempts, kind of what have you tried? I presume
Oh
you've done a
goodness,
few different attempts.
they're all the usual candidates. So I've done. I've successfully lost with, and I suppose this is the great irony. So successfully lost with Weight Watchers, who's Slimming World. Counting calories and macros, exercising wildly, all of those in combination, and have successfully lost weight many times.
But then what happens?
And then I stop doing whatever it is, and I think I can't face counting another calorie. My head's going to explode, and just think, screw it, and just go back to eating whatever the hell I want. And the ramifications of that clearly are I don't make great decisions when I'm in that frame of mind.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very, very common thing for me and Joe to see is that kind of that dieting cycle. And like you say, people will try a diet, have some success with it, but then if they don't kind of learn the skills, they don't level up their relationship with food, they don't kind of learn what they should be eating and why they should be eating, kind of how to incorporate weekends and, like say, holidays and birthdays and all these different things, then the same kind of thing tends to perpetuate itself and happen over again. And then you go, I've gained some weight, what do I need to do? Well, I lost weight on this plan, so I'll go back and do this. Or people do a few weeks on something, maybe not get the results that they want, and then try and find something else.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, also common. So what results have you had so far working with a coach?
So I first started with Sustain back at the beginning of December, actually, and I joined the kind of Christmas, don't know what you call it, plan, I suppose, which was all about coming out of the Christmas period with as little damage as possible. And I was like, I decided, right, I'm just going to start there. I'm not going to wait until after Christmas because I usually did that. So I wanted to do something different. So over that December, I lost 1 pound, which was remarkable, quite frankly. I would normally have gained at least half a stone. And then I started one-to-one coaching with you, James, at the beginning of January. So since the beginning of January, I've lost 22 pounds, I think it is now.
Fantastic. And we've had quite a few like events and stuff going on.
Yes, we have, indeed.
How did you find all that?
It was fine, actually, because I think as we talked about it before I went skiing for a week in a situation where I didn't really have control over the kind of the minutiae of what the food was I was going to eat, and I was going to be eating in airports and doing all sorts of things. And we kind of talked about what my approach might be beforehand. I felt more prepared for it, so I didn't throw everything out. And it was like I just tried to incorporate some of the main principles into what I was doing. And yes, I still had waffles and cinnamon buns and hot chocolates and all the rest of it. I just didn't have them 3 times a day, every day for a week.
Yeah,
was the difference.
Did look delicious.
It was amazing. And I was skiing all day, so I was doing a lot of exercise as well. But so it wasn't such a big thing, whereas normally it would have been, screw it, I'm on holiday, I'm going to have whatever I want when I want, I'm not going to deny myself. Whereas I went into it with a very different attitude this time about, I didn't want to go backwards. I wanted to prove to myself that actually I could go on this kind of holiday, still enjoy myself, but within reason, in a kind of sensible way, rather than it being that dial swinging completely to the opposite end of the scale.
Fantastic. I was going to ask you if you had any kind of regrets of not limiting to your choices, but being more in control of your choices. But I think you answered it there.
No, I mean, the thing was, at the end of the day, I had everything I kind of wanted anyway. I had an amazing time, and I don't think I felt like I missed out on anything, to be honest. So no, it was a brilliant outcome from my perspective.
Well, yeah, from my perspective as well, because that's, you know, one of the things we try to embed in our clients is that you don't have to make perfect choices. You just have to make kind of sensible, realistic, and choices that you're happy and in control of.
Yeah.
And if that if that involves a cinnamon bun and some red wine, and I think you still lost weight, didn't you, on your holiday?
Yeah, I think I still lost a pound that week.
Yeah, I think you lost 2 pounds.
Is crazy. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
So, what have you found to be the best thing about kind of being coached on Sustain?
I think it forced me to be honest with myself. So when I started this, I was like, there's no point me doing this unless I'm going to be 100% honest in what I report to you about what I'm eating, which then forced me to face up to what I was actually eating. And so just that accountability every day, and just the habit of just writing it down. So it's there on a page, and doing that every day and getting feedback on a daily basis makes a big difference. I think in the past, stuff's been done like over a week. So, you know, if you're going to a slimming club or whatever it is, it's week by week, and you kind of go, oh, well, I know I haven't been brilliant, I can pull it back. Whereas when it's day by day, you kind of have that accountability there and then, and you're thinking that in that moment, why was it I ate that? What was it that happened? Rather than with a week's hindsight going, oh yeah, well, it wasn't a brilliant day. And unpacking some of that makes a real difference.
Yeah, I think a big difference for our approach is the accountability that makes people more mindful of the choices. And then it's that, like you say, you know, lots of people with the weekly check-ins, you've got 6 or 7 days there where you can just slowly drift off. Whereas, you know, we can kind of nip it in the bud, or help you nip it in the bud. Do you feel that how do you find your kind of skill set around making food choices? Do you feel more confident now, or?
Yeah, totally. I think I'm a bit of a creature of habit. So my food is kind of similar. I kind of know what I want to eat, but I don't really feel like I'm on a diet as such. It's that, and I still have stuff that other people might consider, oh my goodness, you're on a diet, you can't possibly eat that. But I do, but it's because it's within the context of really sensible meals in between. I mean, as you know, it's my daughter's birthday on Friday. We had an afternoon tea delivered. It was amazing. I had scones, I had sandwiches, I had cake. But that was one meal out of that week. And so my whole attitude is very different from that perspective. And it's like, I'm not going to sit there with a lettuce leaf when there's an amazing afternoon tea. I'm going to have it. I'm going to enjoy it. But it's not going to be the start of chaos. But, you know, previously that would have been the beginning of a week or so of, oh, well, I've blown it now. What the hell? It was just like, well, I'm going to have this because this is for my daughter's birthday, and then we'll crack on. So I actually had a very sensible dinner that evening because that's just what I do now.
Yeah, fantastic. And that kind of goes back into the controlled, sensible, kind of realistic choices that we're really trying to, you know, kind of get you guys to level up your skill set. And then you can also enjoy, you know, Ferrero Rocher and wine on a Wednesday night.
On my COVID Zoom calls on a Wednesday evening.
There you go. And it not have a negative effect on your weight loss. But again, like you said,
Absolutely.
those are things that people would think, if I'm following a diet, I can't have wine, I can't have chocolate. Like, of course you can. But it's fixing all your other meals. You know, it's making sensible choices. As long as that's not happening all day, every day, and you're not having high tea and cake every single day, then it's not an issue, is it? Like I said, it's one meal out of a week. So it's very easy
exactly.
to incorporate kind of when you know what you're looking for.
Yeah, totally.
So how have you found kind of our approach different to your previous approaches?
I think it very much is that I'm not counting anything, which is so nice. I've counted sins and points and calories and God knows what for years, and it's really nice not to be doing that. So it actually means I'm not as obsessed by food, I think, than I would be normally. So just that whole approach about, let's think of this in the round and what are the things that you should generally steer yourself towards and generally avoid, has been really, really good from my perspective, because it means I don't think about it in quite the same way as I did anymore. So that's really important. And it feels like something that I can just do now.
Good.
So it's not, I'm going to do this for X number of weeks and I'm going to really restrict myself and then I will finish that diet. It's more that I feel like I've learned to eat properly. Fantastic. Generally, and that relationship's so much better. It's amazing.
How have you found it being able to kind of fit into your family life? So your everyday life, obviously you've got a partner, you've got kids as well. Kind of how have you found that?
Just really easy, actually. Really easy, because I'm basing my meals around those key things of like protein and veg, and that's the first things I think about, what goes on the plate, and it's just really easy. It hasn't taken a great deal of thought, and my husband doesn't think it's really complicated because the poor chap's been through quite a lot with me and my weird and wonderfuls of what I can eat and can't eat and how much and all the rest of it. And whereas this is much more relaxed, so it isn't such a chore for him, I don't think either. He's not quite so scared of cooking meals anymore.
Yeah, getting it wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Good, because
Exactly.
that's, again, it's exactly what we set out to do, kind of real, kind of family friendly, simple to follow, but very effective, that fits into your everyday life, and like I say, kind of gives people the skills that they need to then go off on their own, which, you know, you clearly have developed and become kind of second nature. So, you know, a perfect case load for us. Case load? No. Example. I'll go for example. So what are the top 3 other benefits you found kind of from working with Sustain, working, being coached?
I think that relationship with food has been the biggest thing for me. So just about the kind of losing weight, but that whole relationship with food has been the really key thing for me. And then it kind of follows on from that. I think I'm probably more confident in other areas because I'm happy with what I'm doing and how I'm feeling. So I think that's really important. And the other benefit has really been in recent weeks, given what we're now living in, it hasn't been a big deal for me.
Brilliant.
Which is weird because I would have expected it to suddenly being locked down and all the rest of it to have been a really big deal. And it really hasn't, because it's not been a case of you have to do this or else you're failing. And when it's very black and white, it's really easy to have that downward spiral, but it really wasn't. So if I can't get certain things at the supermarket that I wanted, it's not a big deal. And so that's been really huge for me.
Excellent. Yeah, because that was kind of one of the issues I thought as soon as this happened, was with people being limited with the times that they want to go shopping, with limited resources and stuff like that. If you're trying to follow a strict meal plan, you're kind of doomed.
Yeah,
and again,
exactly.
yeah, that's why we wanted to do kind of the parameters that we give our clients, is so that you can go out for a meal, you can go away for a week. You know, if you work away and you're in a hotel for a week, you can still make solid, sensible choices, still make progress. So like
Absolutely.
our guys are kind of fully equipped for lockdown, and then handling stress, handling emotional eating, comfort eating, all these things, you know, obviously things that we work on with our clients as well. So last one, what advice would you give others thinking about working with us? Would you recommend us, and why? Fingers crossed it's a yes.
Absolutely. I mean, I think anyone that's kind of wavering is just do it, just try it. There's the quick 7-day things, I think, are brilliant, and the kind of month-long try it out plans are fantastic. Just do it, you won't regret it. And it isn't just another diet. It's not like all the other things. It's actually much, much more than that. And like the coaching element is absolutely amazing, is the short version.
Thank you. That's a glowing report. So, well, that'll do. I'll let you get on with the rest of your day. So thank you very much for joining us this afternoon.
No problem.
I'll speak to you tomorrow regarding your food diaries.
Cool.